Shua Tov, here we are getting closer and closer to Rosh Hashana. We're going to talk about a couple of ideas vis-a-vis Rosh Hashana. Number one is that, as we all are accustomed, we have our round challah, which we always dip in honey. Now, it's very interesting is that a lot of the opinions suggest is that, when we say we dip the challah with honey or we sprinkle the honey over the challah, that is not mutually exclusive to the dipping in the salt. See, the dipping in the salt has many, many different reasons behind it. Predominantly so that it's a sign that our table has become the altar, or has come to replace the altar that existed in temple times. And therefore, as they sprinkled salt on the sacrifices of old, so we do sprinkle, salt on the bread. So it has that value of, so to speak, turning our table into an altar that we are, so to speak, serving Hashem through the people that we host and so on and so forth. Now, the adding of the honey has got to do with having a sweet new year and all the spirits associated with that. Now, that is, of enormous value, but it's got nothing to do with the salt. So the adding of the salt and the adding of the honey are mutually exclusive. So technically speaking, the adding of the honey should come as well as the sprinkling of the salt, and not instead of. So that's something that generally speaking people are unaware of. Most people, including myself, don't have that custom. We just do the honey, we forget about the salt, but really the salt should be a part, and it's an interesting bit of trivia. One other thing is that often you hear people say, not allowed to eat nuts on Yom Tov. How can you eat nuts? Now, on Rosh Hashana, there are lots of foods that we do eat, and there are lots of foods that we don't eat. And it's all what we say, al pi sod, Kabbalistic reasoning behind it. So apple dipped in honey. What is eating an apple dipped in honey, going to make your year sweet? They're having fish heads on the table. Now all of a sudden all your business deals are going to go well. So maybe yes, maybe no. But if it does, the reason for that has got nothing to do, at least literally, with the apple dipped in honey. It's a symbol. It's a nice idea. And so too, as we're doing nice ideas to try to promote, positivity, we're supposed to move away from things that are negative. So the eating of a nuts, we said, is ego says the gematria of chait, of sin, has the numerical value of sin. So we stay away from nuts. So people say, Baba Master's got to stay away from nuts. Like Baba Master's eating apple dipped in honey. I mean, it's all based on the same concept. So really, there are these concepts that we don't have apple dipped in honey. We shouldn't have very sour foods or very bitter foods, because we're trying to do things sweet. We just have a positive new year. And just as we have all the simanim, the omens, to try and make the year a positive, sweet one, we try to refrain from those that make it a negative, bitter, and sour one. Great week. See you next week.